The next Tournament of Power promises to blow expectations out of the water set by the previous tournament, expand our imaginations with unforgettable moments, hype attacks just like the grinding Kamehameha, and of course provide us with more transformations for characters at pivotal moments. I mean, come on, it's Dragon Ball. Universe 7, since the last Tournament of Power, has received some pretty hefty power-ups in the arcs that followed. YouTuber Carthu's Dojo, as recently as a few months ago, did a video exploring Universe 7's team for the next Tournament of Power and their new and current transformations. So if Universe 7 are bringing these new forms, what are the other universes bringing to the tournament? And as our main cast gets stronger, we're literally not seeing the other universes in the meantime. And given that since we last saw them there's been a few arcs and a time skip, that's a lot of development time. We truthfully don't know a lot of what the other universes are capable of in terms of further transformations and power-ups, but we do have a good idea of what Universe 6 is capable of power-up wise. And to be honest, it's scary how much they'll have improved. So who is Universe 6 picking for their team this time? Well, the first choice is obvious, and no, it's not Dr. Rota. Regardless of how far the rest of the team has progressed up to this point, choice number 1 is Hit. Hit is still the poster child for Universe 6. The extremely skilled assassin who is known to keep improving now has a chip on his shoulder after being eliminated by Jiren in the last tournament, and don't get fooled just by when he was eliminated. This guy literally froze Jiren for a period of time. Sure, Jiren was able to break out, but not without considerable time to power through. Think for a minute what it took Goku in Universe 7 to take Jiren down, and then think about the power it would take for Hit to restrain Jiren for as long as he did. This guy is extremely capable, and with the time spent to master his techniques and keep improving, Hit is an undeniable threat to any fighter in the tournament. The second choice is one of Universe 6's favourite characters to use in stories, and that is Frost. Frost, you may think, is a weird choice given that he got bodied during the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament and his disqualification in the previous tournament after attempting to kill Frieza from the cheap seats. However, none of this can overshadow the character's cunning, planning and latent abilities. And yes, he was revived after the tournament. We did see him hanging out with Universe 6 at the end of Dragon Ball Super. And once again, this character not only hates Vegeta now, but also has a chip on his shoulder toward Frieza. Frost is the same species as Frieza. Frost has shown his mutation ability and had spent time planning strategies to defeat Universe 7 rather than just simply powering up. But now he's had time to develop, there is no doubt that he holds the same potential as Frieza to develop his own abilities. Previously, he had no knowledge of Frieza's golden form until the Tournament of Power, but now having witnessed that power, Frost could potentially achieve his own variant. Maybe Platinum Frost? Or just like Kale paying homage to Broly in the previous tournament, will Frost end up paying homage to Cooler in this one? People have been begging for a Cooler reboot, and whilst that could still one day happen, subscribe to my channel for a theory as exactly how that may happen coming in future, but until it may one day happen, this may give us the same reception to Cooler as Kale did to Broly, meanwhile elevating Frost and making use of a fan favourite form. Climbing in at number 3 we have Cabba. Cabba's relationship with Vegeta virtually makes this guy indispensable to Dragon Ball as a whole. Since his introduction, he has dropped bombshell after bombshell of lore into the story. Saiyans still exist in Universe 6, female Super Saiyans are possible, Saiyans came from a planet prior to coming from Vegeta, Vegeta has a chance to visit them and their king who is apparently similar to Vegeta, they've evolved past their need for tails, but the biggest one of all is that the majority of their Saiyans are pure-hearted. What does this mean? Well, for a start, it means that should any other Saiyans pick up and unlocking Super Saiyan as easily as Kale and Caulifla did, then performing a Super Saiyan God ritual should not be any trouble at all. And that is where Cabba is likely to head. Should they not be able to perform the God ritual? That's absolutely no trouble at all either. Vegeta has already proven that the ritual isn't necessary as long as you know what you're trying to achieve. Cabba's potential as a pure-hearted Saiyan sticks him on a very clear trajectory to mastering this form, and perhaps even making it his own. Sitting at Universe 6's number 4 spot, Saunel. Saunel may have not seemed like anything special initially, but his performance alongside his fellow Namekian peer Purina landed him in the final 2 of Universe 6 during the last tournament. The bone-chilling reveal in the last tournament that Saunel and Purina had performed Namekian fusion with the majority of their warrior population is nothing to sniff at. These guys didn't last until the end of Universe 6 by sheer chance. They are greatly underrated in many fans' eyes in terms of strength. Being able to go toe-to-toe with Piccolo and Gohan, knowing the extent of their training over the years, over the fights with Majin Buu in the Elder Kai ritual, should shine a vivid light on how strong these guys actually are. And if unlocking an orange form is something Piccolo could do in the near future after participating in this tournament himself, then Saunel and Purina could also potentially unlock an orange form each. So naturally, Universe 6's number 5 spot also goes to Purina. For many of the same reasons mentioned here, should Universe 6 manage to achieve 2 orange Namekian power-ups, that would absolutely tip the scales in favour of Universe 6. Moving swiftly on to the 6th entrant in Universe 6, Magetta. Magetta makes a lot of sense to keep around after melting coverings over his ears to stop him hearing insults that hurt his little metal heart. And whilst it's unclear how much stronger he could possibly become if he trained, if at all, he could definitely still contribute to taking out a lot of the other universe's contestants. Maybe just the weaker ones, but who knows. Entrant number 7 of Universe 6, Kale. Kale became one half of the driving force between the main stand against Goku during the latter part of the Tournament of Power. Working together with Caulifla, they put up a valiant effort against a weakened Goku, but after fusing into Kefla, had Goku not turned into Ultra Instinct Omen, the fight would have been over swiftly. Kefla could have destroyed Goku. And even after achieving UI Omen, or Sign, whatever you prefer to refer to it as, Goku's last hope came down to one final Kamehameha. Had he missed that amazing attack, Goku would have lost. Both Goku himself and Whis say that if Goku didn't pull off that last-ditch Kamehameha, it would have been all over. But even without fusing to become Kefla, Kale was solely to blame for mutating the Tournament of Power arena from being the perfectly flat Kachin structure to being a rocky, broken and precarious battlefield. Now having had time to further control her full power form, further develop her Super Saiyan level-headed form, and potentially strive to achieve further forms, Kale could have unlocked power rivaling that of Universe 7's Broly. And the likelihood is that's exactly what will happen, and a fight that we're very likely to see. And if Broly unlocks an equivalent to Super Saiyan 4 like people have been predicting, you can bet Kale will probably get something similar as well. Moving on to number 8 of Universe 6's team, Botamo. Truth be told, until we know more about Universe 6's residency, it's hard to say who might take this spot. Could it be the Saiyan King that Kaba speaks so highly of? I suppose it could be. But if the King was up to the task, would he not have already been in the previous 2 tournaments? So until we know further, Botamo, for the same reasons as Magetta, is still a great choice for Universe 6. With his belly that can transport impact to another dimension, his durability is unmatched. And with further development, who knows what force Botamo could become. Regardless of whether he is a threat to Universe 7, he's a threat to the other universes. Many fans originally queried whether Botamo was the Universe 6 equivalent of Majin Buu, and the truth is that this is likely not the case, for a reason I'm about to mention. This takes us to entry number 9, Majin Buu's Universe 6 counterpart. Universe 6 being Universe 7's twin universe certainly contributed to a lot of great characters being introduced. However, it also introduced many characters that have counterparts in Universe 7 that we don't know of yet. Upon Supreme Kai learning of Magetta, it eventually led to the realization that Universe 7 was also home to the Metal Men, but we wouldn't see a Universe 7 Metal Man until the Galactic Prisoner arc of the manga, which is where we learned of Botamo's counterpart, Yunba. And with this clearing up the fact that Botamo is not a Majin Buu counterpart, it means that Universe 6 are still likely to have their own superpowered Majin race character. And with the massive success of Android 21's introduction since Toriyama designed her, and her Majin form, the possibility of further female Majin characters being introduced is an almost certain. And what better scenario to do it in than this? That's right, all hail Majin Booby.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Seriously, as low-hanging fruit as this joke is, it seems like a classic Toriyama name gag. And finally, entrant number 10, you guessed it, Caulifla. It makes sense that she would attempt to master Super Saiyan Blue given the fact this was something she was interested in along with Super Saiyan 3. Most likely, Caulifla would use Super Saiyan 3, maybe a mastered version, and that would be her big reintroduction form. And then, having held back a surprise for later, showing off the fact she achieved Blue a long time ago but kept it a secret. Should Caulifla and Kale fuse to become Kefla once more, which after the massive power boost it gave them last time, Kefla would potentially be the biggest threat to Universe 7 to date, likely rivaling that of Gogeta Blue in typical Dragon Ball fashion, probably surpassing it. So there we have it, the likely lineup for Universe 6 in the next Tournament of Power, should they do one. Do you think Universe 6 have a counterpart for Morrow? Because that could also be a tide turner, but let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to leave a like on the videos, it really does help the channel out, and perhaps consider subscribing for more Dragon Ball content in future. So, thanks for watching, and until we meet again, bye!